Hey, this is Miss Hampton coming to you live in crew talking about recommendation packets today. So we're going to go over, I know that we went over it a little bit in boot camp, but there's some questions about it. So we're going to go over that for the next few minutes. You got 3 manila folders, okay? 2 of them just had 1 sheet of paper in them, and one of them had a bunch of sheets of paper in them. So you're going to use all 3 of those to give to your 3 letters of recommendation writers. The one that had a lot of information in it, the extra information can be taken out, and this is just for your own use as to know what would be good to put in these packets when you give it to your recommendation people. So these can be taken out, and then you have 3 folders with 1 piece of paper in them. Okay, so let's talk about this piece of paper. What you're going to do, here you are. What you're going to do for each of your recommendation people is you're going to make sure you write your name, because they kind of need that. The school name of what you're going to go to, if it's a Common App school, when their deadline is, especially if it's early decision, we need to know that. Then for non-Common App schools, forms included. Y'all are probably like, what does that mean? Some schools still do kind of like the old school thing of where you have a piece of paper and the recommender has to check off different things. So if that is a school that you're applying to, just put it in the packet for your recommender. And then supplementary materials, we're going to go over that in a few minutes. Those that have a CSS profile right here, that's going to be for a lot of your private schools. Sometimes you don't know if it's a CSS profile, and the teachers or the recommenders don't really need to do too much with it. But for those of you that do have some private schools that you're applying to, you can check that. And if you're unsure if it's a profile school, all you need to do is type in CSS profile and look and type in the school, and bingo, it'll tell you if it's a school or not. So that's how you fill out this form. A lot of people have just been making copies of it, which is actually a really good idea, and then putting it in the folder. Once you've done filling this out, you're going to put it in the folder. Okay. And so all the information that was in the 3rd folder, if I can put it right, all the information that was in the 3rd folder is just some information for you. So this is not anything that you need to include in your recommendation packet. But it is going to tell you how to ask people to write recommendations, maybe a copy of your resume from Naviance, hint, 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 do it, so that they can know a little bit more about you when they're writing their letter. Also, we have like samples of cover letters, things like that you might want to use. Remember that we all know you and love you, but we don't know you well enough to everything that you want in these letters of recommendation. I certainly don't, because I'm new. So if you could provide me as much information as possible about yourself and put it with your letter of recommendation folder behind this little thing that you're going to fill out, that would be amazing. So really quick, we're going to go over how to actually give these to somebody. So I'm going to need the help of your crew advisor, and I'd like for your crew advisor to stand right here, I think. Yeah. So what you're going to do is you're going to walk over to a teacher that you may be interested in writing your letter. Maybe the other way, sorry. And you're going to say, "Hi, Mrs. Hampton, how are you? Oh, that's awesome. Do you have like 1 or 2 minutes so I could talk to you?" Okay, great. I was hoping that you could write my letter of recommendation for me. I got some information for you about what schools I'm applying for, as well as a little bit of information about me. I know that you guys only write 15 letters each, so I was hoping that I could be one of your 15. Yes, that is correct. We only write 15 letters each, so if you want us to write a letter, please get with us soon. And then Miss Hampton is going to say, "Yes, I would love to write your letter of recommendation. Thank you for this nice packet, all filled out and nice, so that I can go ahead and work on that." And then look at that. You've gotten your first letter of recommendation writer. You need to do at least 3. One of them is going to be an advisor from the school that we've already selected. So in crew, you're going to figure out who your person is if you haven't already. And then you can do 2 additional letters of recommendation writers. After you have actually asked them to write your letter and they've said yes, then we're going to go into Naviance and request them as a letter of recommendation writer. And I'll have a video to show you about that as well. So if you have any questions, please feel free to see me. But remember, fill this out. Each person gets one of these that's writing your letters, as well as some information about you. And you must ask them before you add them into Naviance. That's it for now. If you have any questions, please feel free to see me, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
Welcome, Agent Lester, to your recommendation letter briefing, also known as Mission Possible. Your mission has 4 tasks. 1, determine who you will ask for your recommendation letters. 2, know how to prepare background information for them. 3, start early. And 4, remember to follow up with your references. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
These are your targets, Mrs. Debbie Jablonski and Mr. Dustin Linkford IV. We'll start with Jablonski.
My guidance counselor. I know her.
Yes, but did you know that a recommendation letter from your guidance counselor or other school official is required by the majority of colleges? This is important, Lester. 83% of all schools look at recommendation letters when considering a candidate for admission. 83%. So it's in your best interest to get letters from people who know you well.
I don't know how well she knows me, though.
Well, then be proactive. Schedule contact with this target soon. Be sure to prepare her on any circumstances at home that may affect your grades.
I was out with mono for a month per semester. It was right after I broke up with Mary.
Lester, snap to it. Make sure Jablonski knows of your illness and be prepared to hand her a dossier of your goals, activities, accomplishments, and strengths. This will supplement what she already knows about you.
Check.
Now, to recap, as far as colleges are concerned, your guidance counselor is the expert on your background. It's imperative you approach her early, because other students will too. Try to ask at least 4 to 6 weeks in advance. Now, for Mr. Linkford.
What? My English teacher? He doesn't like me at all.
Negative. He gave you a C on that Hemingway paper. Understandable. But according to our intelligence, he said he really appreciates your attitude.
Okay, but why him? Why not my PE teacher, Mr. Brooks?
Oh, forget Brooks. You're going to college for an education, so it's very important you have one recommendation from a core subject teacher. Math, science, history, English, and foreign language. And don't even think of recommendation letters from your friends, relatives, or elected officials.
I was thinking of majoring in English.
We know. Another reason Linkford is an ideal candidate. Now, when you approach him, bring the same briefing you prepared for Jablonski.
So he's supposed to write the same kind of recommendation?
Negative again. Linkford will write about your academic attributes, the kind schools want to hear about. A teacher you had for a core subject in 11th grade will give the most up-to-date perspective on your academics. Class participation, effort, creativity, since they will have already gotten to know you. Remember, Agent Lester, for many schools, recommendation letters are a vital part of your application. Counselors and teachers need good intelligence to supplement what they know about you, and they need plenty of lead time to write strong letters.
Wow.
You'll probably never see the recommendation, Lester, but we will, because letters usually get sent directly to the school you're applying to. Which brings us to your 4th and last task, the follow-up. Be sure to follow up with your references to make sure they mailed your letters. Counselors and teachers are very busy people, and they can sometimes forget. So, are you prepared to take on this critical mission in a timely and thorough manner?
Yes, ma'am.
Then good luck, Agent Lester. Follow your training, and I think you'll find your mission will be easier than you might think. Until we meet again.